MDHHS. We are pleased in East China School District to see that the decisions will be able to be made at a local level. And the East China School Board, along with our school administration, will be releasing our COVID-19 guidance for the 2021-2022 school year in the next week to 10 days. So we have already been able to rescind the masking requirement for our summer school, and we're excited to see that with this MDHHS issuance on Friday that we'll be able to continue to make those decisions at a local level. So I just wanted to make that noted.
That's good news.
Yep.
Okay, the St. Clair County Association of School Board Scholarship Recipients and Mentors, Mrs. Sybula.
Thank you. I'll move over to the podium. Good evening again. The St. Clair County Association of School Boards announced that 3 students in St. Clair County have been chosen for the association's annual scholarship awards. 3 outstanding students from our 7 school districts will each receive $1,000. This year's scholarship recipients were selected from among 49 applicants countywide after a vigorous screening process was conducted by 4 St. Clair County Association of School Boards Executive Council members. And we are very pleased tonight to announce that 2 of these 3 award winners are from St. Clair High School, and it is my pleasure to recognize them this evening. The first recipient, if I could please have Prewa Montrose and Mr. Joseph Fouché come up here for a moment so you can stand and face the audience. There you go. Thank you. That way they know who I'm talking about as I'm reading all these great things. Prewa is a recent graduate from St. Clair High School and plans to attend Michigan State University, Go Green, where she will pursue a double major in English and biology while accomplishing her pre-medical prerequisites. Her dream is to become an oncologist. Prewa was very active in school, taking on several leadership roles: the American Association of Michigan Student Council, National Honor Society, Corps and Youth Group, as well as after-school activities such as Girls Varsity Swim. It was her dedication and hard work that led her to high ranking by the screening committee. Each student scholarship recipient was asked to name the teacher who had the greatest influence on their decision to pursue a degree in post-secondary education. For Prewa, that teacher was Mr. Joseph Fouché. Good luck to Prewa, and congratulations, Mr. Fouché. Thank you very much. The next recipient is Madison Cook from St. Clair High School, and her teacher was Mr. David Klutz. And accepting the award for Madison this evening is Mr. Ronald Miller. So if I could have Mr. Ronald Miller and Mr. David Klutz up, please. Madison, or Maddie, is a recent graduate from St. Clair High School and plans to attend Michigan State University, Go Green, where she will begin her studies in political science and criminology. Madison is very active in school, participating in mock trial, after-school kids program at Pine River Elementary, Students Council, and softball and volleyball. It was her many accomplishments that led her to high ranking by the screening committee. Each student scholarship recipient again was asked to name the teacher who had the greatest influence on their decision to pursue a degree in post-secondary education. And for Maddie, it was Mr. David Klutz. So congratulations to Mr. Klutz, and good luck to Maddie Cook. Thank you.
All right, thank you. The next item on our agenda is our special recognition this evening. And we will be honoring our East China School District retirees, Mrs. Sabula and Mrs. Dimick. Yeah, stay over there.
I know, I forgot.
Thank you, President Frank, members of the Board of Education, and distinguished guests. We are excited to be here tonight, rather a bittersweet moment where we say goodbye to a lot of our outstanding staff that we've had for the last several years. I want to thank you for allowing me to present the 2021 retirees, including all of those who retired since our last retiree recognition in June of 2020. And so we did have a significant number that retired last summer that we'll be recognizing this evening as well. We are here to recognize the significant contributions to the school district that each of these retirees has made over the years. None of us ever anticipated that their career would culminate with the way that it did over the past 2 years. However, like everyone in the district, all of these retirees rose to the challenge, and we are here to celebrate them tonight. Each of the retirees has done an amazing job in impacting students in the community in unique and special ways. They will all be dearly missed. The 32 retirees who are being honored tonight represent an amazing and unbelievable 775 years of dedicated service to the district. That is an average of 24 years each. I will first recognize those who are in attendance this evening. As I call your name, please step forward to accept our thanks in a token of appreciation for your service presented by our Superintendent, Suzanne Saibula. First up, Bill Andrews, custodian, Marine City Campus. 23 years of service. Yes. Petra Koprivica, did I say that right? I'm good. Third grade teacher, Pine River Elementary. And Petra has 26 years of service. Mike Lamana, building head, Marine City High School, 20 years.
Last time.
Betsy Mueller, teacher consultant, early on, Gearing Elementary. Betsy was only with us for 4 years, but had a great career prior to that, and we will miss her. Casey Schulte, resource room teacher most recently at Palms Elementary. And Casey has 17 years of service. Kim Shunk, Marine City High School, CCR, English, Social Studies, whatever we could throw at her, 22 years of service. Harriet Talaski, first grade, Bell River Elementary, 26 years of service. And last but not least, Terry Williams, second grade, Pine River, 23 years of service.
Switch it just a little bit, and I assume I don't have to tell anybody to smile. Board members together, I assume. Oh. 1, 2, 3, everybody. Oh.
Some family photos that need
will now continue with the recognition of those who could not attend tonight's meeting. First with Rich Babowski, Social Studies and Technology, Marine City High. He helped our average at 40 years of service. Kim Burkhart, Social Studies, St. Clair Middle School, 21 years of service. Barb Carroll, kindergarten, most recently at Gearing Elementary, and Eddie, prior to that, 34 years of service. Scott Isley, Technology, St. Clair High and St. Clair Middle Schools, 34 years of service again. Sheila Gilmore, who was one of our office parapros at St. Clair Middle School, she had 25 years of service. Deb Kara Swan, one of our Riverview East High School teachers, she taught social studies for 27 years. Sherry Kemp, second grade teacher at Gearing Elementary for 28 years. Becky Kroll, who was a student center para at St. Clair Middle School, and she had been with us for 18 years. Ann Landra, who was a building head at St. Clair Middle School, she was missed a year or so ago, so she's been out for a little while, but she had 20 years of service. Tom Lucas, another custodian at Marine City High, who had 19 years of service. Kevin Mon, who just retired this year as a science and PE teacher at St. Clair High after 32 years. Karen Maitland, speech and language pathologist, mainly at Bell River Elementary, but various schools before that for 32 years. Kathy Miller, secretary at Riverview East High School. Kathy had 20 years of service. Nancy Mott, who I know we all miss from the board meetings, she taught math at St. Clair Middle for 33 years. Bill Nesbitt, PE and health teacher at St. Clair High for 27 years. Barb Penzine, who had taught at Bell River Elementary, 4th grade for 23 years. Tina Provost had been a kindergarten teacher at Palms Elementary, and she had been with us for 28 years as well. Kellie Randolph, a teacher consultant between Gearing and Pine River Elementary Schools. Kellie retired in February after 19 years. Joan Rosol retired in February as well. She had been at St. Clair Middle School as a science and health teacher for 22 years. Jen Russo, one of our valuable school bus drivers. She'd been driving bus for us for 14 years. Julie Stevens, who was actually in my office as the administrative secretary. Wednesday will be her last day after 26 years. Amy Tranchemontagne, another one of our school bus drivers. She had been with us for 18 years. Carol Warden, administrative secretary at Bell River Elementary for 29 years. And Marla Zamita, who is our child care supervisor in charge of our Kids Connection and Latchkey programs. She will be retiring on Wednesday after 24 years of service. So on behalf of the district, the Board of Education and Administration, I just want to give our sincerest gratitude to all of our retirees for all you have done on behalf of our students in the East China community. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to take a short recess at this time, so anybody that wants to leave the meeting, they feel free to do so. Thank you.
Next. Yeah, it's number 6. Next up is consent agenda, and then after that, recognition.
Can't wait to meet them.
Okay, so we will move forward with our meeting. The next item is the consent agenda. And a motion is needed for the approval of minutes from the regular Board of Meeting from May 24th, the special Board of Meeting from June 2nd, the approval of the payment of bills, the financial statement, schedule of investments, the MHSAA annual participation resolution, status of probationary teacher achieving tenure status, appointment of Marine City Campus assistant principal, appointment of teachers, and the Board of Ed authorizes the superintendent to establish employee conditions and contracts for members of the administrative and supervisory staff. This approval is for the annual extensions of 2-year agreements, and included in this group are the following individuals: Don Dimick, Lindsay Grange, Kirk Grzelka, Craig Headley, David Simpson, Angie Gleason, Michael Whaling, and Nina Resnick. A motion is needed.
So moved.
Support.
Are there any comments or questions regarding the consent agenda? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, the next item on our agenda is, darn, is, persons wishing to address the board. So this portion of the agenda is for citizens to address any questions or comments to the board. Please bear in mind that it's our board policy that we can listen right now and take comments and questions under advisement, but we're not able to respond. Your comments and questions will be answered by Mrs. Cybula throughout the week. And let's see, my first green card this evening is Mr. Robert Tylen.
My name is Robert Tylen. I reside in the city of St. Clair. I wish to address the board concerning the formation of a St. Clair High School competitive bowling team. The results of the board's authorized sign-up sheets are as follows. 24 student athletes expressed interest in participating. The purpose tonight is to inform the board that we are continuing with this process. We are consolidating the team roster and collecting data related to the funding of the team. Realizing not all student athletes are able to participate in the traditional high school sports, this makes our effort a viable option. St. Clair High School has had a bowling team in the past, and most of the high schools in St. Clair County currently have a competitive bowling team. That's all for tonight. Thank you so much for your attention and consideration.
Thank you so much for coming. My next green card is Alice Dentel.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me speak. My name is Alice Dental, and I'm a concerned parent. This most recent and tragic time in our history has brought to light the fact that parents as a whole, both past and present, have been far too trusting with our children, too trusting of government, the education system, the media, and that their trust has been betrayed. Government officials and educators standing on some moral high ground, deciding that they, not parents, know what's best for our children, taking moral, ethical, and medical decisions out of the hands of parents. This board, like many across the great state and country, are at a crossroads. Will you stand up? Will you stand up and support parents' rights? I'm pleading with you to make East China School District a district that stands up for parents' rights to make medical, ethical, and moral decisions on behalf of their children. Will you stand with parents and make East China District a district that supports parents and empowers parents to do those things? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Jeremiah Becker.
Good evening. My intention is to speak on behalf of a group of East China School District parents in regards to the COVID-19 mitigations that we've gone through, and then what expectations would be there for 21-22 school year. First, I want to recognize the board for recent statements pointing towards a positive approach to that. But in light of what the Michigan Department of Human, or the health department there on the state level and local level, basically leaning towards that they would continue an increased amount of testing and mitigation going into next year's school year. The parents have felt that we need to start making a stance that's a little more of a stake in the ground. So I'm going to read a letter from retained counsel that points out our stance at this point. East China School District Board of Education, to whom it may concern, my name is Reese Sarah. I represent a growing number of concerned parents and families of students within the East China School District. These families, like many others, both here and in our other school districts, have suffered through the difficulties of COVID pandemic and have had to endure virtual sessions, mandatory masking, no athletic or extracurricular activities that were limited in attendance and limited by masking and frequent testing. These families no longer feel that masking and/or testing should be required for in-person school instruction or participation in school-sponsored athletics and activities for the 2021-2022 school year. Further, the concerned parents of East China School District seek to encourage the East China School District Board of Education to implement the following policies. 1, that children of parents who choose to forego masking and/or testing be treated the same as other children, those who do use a mask and undergo testing. That children do not wear masks or undergo frequent testing be afforded the same privilege to attend and participate in in-person school instruction, school athletics, and other school-sponsored activities. 3, and most importantly, that the district embrace a policy that places the choice of student safety, masking, and testing where it belongs with the parents of the students. These requests are not mere whims. They are supported by scientific data, ethical and moral beliefs, and out of genuine concern for these parents, for the physical, mental, and emotional well-being of these children. Indira Gandhi, the first female Prime Minister of India, summarized it best when she stated, "We must protect families, we must protect children, who have inalienable rights and should be loved, should be taken care of physically and mentally, and should not be brought into the world only to suffer." In conclusion, while we remain committed to an open dialogue with the East China School District Board of Education, in the event that district continues a policy that requires mandatory masking and/or frequent testing for in-person student instruction, athletics, and other activities, and does not place the choice of student safety, masking, and testing with parents of the children, our office is fully prepared to take legal action to preserve and protect the constitutional rights, health, safety, and welfare of the students of East China School District. If the district is interested in continuing an open dialogue, please contact Reese Sarah of the private firm, 805 Oakwood Drive, Suite 101, Rochester, Michigan, 48307. Phone number is 248-840-3139. And I've submitted a copy of this letter as well. And we just thank you for your consideration of that stance, and then hopefully we can come to a better resolution before the school year starts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Becker. Christine Cantrell.
Hello, my name's Christina Cantrell. I reside in St. Clair with my husband and 3 children. Last year, my oldest son was enrolled in virtual learning simply because my husband and I refused to mask our children. And as more research has been done, it's proving to be true that masks not only carry diseases and viruses, they do not help prevent the spread of COVID. Once I had learned that parents would be kept out of the public schools, I knew that we had made the right decision to keep him home. And in my opinion, the second you ban parents from the schools, it immediately becomes an unsafe place for children. My concern for the next school year is COVID testing. It's not FDA approved and is sanitized in a highly toxic gas, which causes multiple cancers along with brain and nervous system damage. And I will not subject my children to that weekly or biweekly. So in your response, the parents would like answers on what your plan is for the next school year. All together in our group, we have 116 children we will be pulling from this district if things don't change and just go back to normal. Thank you.
Thank you. Ashley Casto.
Well, I just came to ask you guys to give us an answer in the next couple weeks so we could all decide if we're homeschooling or changing our kids' districts or whether we're putting them in private or where we're staying at. But you answered that question, so thank you. But I'm with them. I'm going to pull my kids if there's masks and if there's mandatory testing. Thanks.
Thank you. Jessica Holcomb.
I didn't prepare a lot. I just want to say thank you guys, first of all, for working with us. And, you know, we really appreciate that you guys, on the 22nd, when those mandates were lifted from the state, that you guys lifted them as well for the schools, the summer school program. So we do appreciate that. And we, you know, acknowledge that you guys are working with us as well. And we appreciate that you're not going above and beyond the guidelines, you know, to mask our children and stuff. As you guys probably know, the MDHHS was approved for $300 million to the state of Michigan for health resource advocates. They're wanting to test the children twice a week. And as Christina said, these parents are not wanting our children tested twice a week. And like Ms. Ibola did point out that they're going to put this on to the local school boards. We are requesting and begging you guys to say, no, we don't want the funding. We don't want, you know, your health resources. We can handle this on our own as a community, and we can do this together with the parents. Medical procedures do not belong in the school environment at all. Children are not don't need to be subjected to this stuff. Testing, that includes testing and vaccinations. On a side note, schools should not be setting up vaccination programs or having, oh, let's have the kids or whoever come in at this time and get vaccinated at the schools. Schools are here to teach the children. If people need to be vaccinated, go to the health department. There's plenty of places they can be vaccinated. It doesn't need to be in the schools. I'm not sure if you guys are aware or saw the recent studies of the MDHHS where they came out and said all of the testing for all of the athletes that they've been doing for the past year, only 99%, all of 99% were negative, which means only less than 1% of all of the kids that they tested for all of those tests were negative, which means that's just proving the point that these children are not getting coronavirus. They're not spreading it. They're not asymptomatic carriers. They're not. That God gave them the ability to not get this and not get sick from it. So we don't need to be testing them. I do also want to make a point to you guys that there are a lot of other parents in surrounding areas that are looking, that I know, that are asking me, what do you think East China is going to do? Because we live in Marysville, and we don't think that our board is going to go along with what we want, the parents. We think that they're going to take the funding and have them test our children 2 weeks. So I just want to put this out there to you guys that if you come out soon, quickly, and say, look, we are not going to follow these mandates. If they make orders, that's different. You have to follow an order. But mandates and recommendations, you do not have to follow. And you guys could really get some more surrounding schools and increase our enrollment here, because these parents are looking for places to go. And these schools, if they do not do this, they will be pulling the kids out too. We have a small group of 150 parents that we polled in just the group that I don't know anybody from here. I'm not from here, and I just put this group together and grabbed some people. And like she said, we have 116 kids that will be pulled from this district if you guys do not go along with this. We don't need to be testing, masking, and doing any of this nonsense. And that's all I have to say, and I appreciate you guys working with us, and thank you.
Thank you. Noah Holcomb.
Hi, my name is Noah Holcomb, and I'm 9 years old, and I go to Gearing. I want to thank you all.
Hey, Noah, hold on one second. He's
We're
gonna
gonna fix
he's
the
gonna
mic,
adjust
yeah.
that microphone for you. We can hear you here, but they want to hear you on TV.
There we go. Now you just made them nervous.
Whoops.
Perfect.
Hi, my name's Noah Holcomb, and I'm 9 years old, and I go to Gearing. I want to thank all the parents for fighting for my mask privileges. I don't like wearing a mask because it is hard to breathe. I got impetigo twice from them. Parents and children should have a choice to wear a mask. I don't think it is right to test kids twice a week, and they should not be forced to get the vaccine. Also, there should not be special privileges for people who got the vaccine and should all be treated the exact same way. If this school decides to make us test or wear masks, me and a lot of my friends will not be attending this school anymore. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and speaking your concerns to the board. We appreciate it. Okay, now we'll move on to our, our action items for this evening. Our first action item is per administration's recommendation. The Board of Education approves the fiscal year 2020-21 amended budget. A motion is needed.
So moved.
Support.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Per administration's recommendation, the Board of Education approves the resolution as presented at the May 24th, 2021 regular board meeting to elect to comply with Act 152 of 2011 by not paying more than 80% of the total annual cost of all the medical benefits that the district offers or contributes for its employees.
So moved.
Support.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Per administration's recommendation, the Board of Education approves the General Appropriations Act resolution as read for fiscal year 2021 to 22.
So moved.
Support.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carries. Per administration's recommendation, the Board of Education approves the contract agreement for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th of 2023 between the Board of Education of the East China School District and Teamsters Local 214. Motion is needed.
So moved.
Support.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Per administration's recommendation, the Board of Education approves the contract agreement for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2023 between the Board of Education of the East China School District and SEIU Local 517M Union.
So moved.
Support.
Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Per administration's recommendation, the Board of Education approves a contract agreement for the period of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th of 2023 between the Board of Education of the East China School District and MEA Educational Support Personnel.
So moved.
Support.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And lastly, per administration's recommendation, the Board of Education approves the contract extension with Suzanne Cybula as Superintendent of Schools for the 2021 to 22 school year through June 30th of 2024. A motion is needed.
So moved. Support.
Any comments or questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. Okay, at this time, for the purpose of discussing student disciplinary action and negotiations, the Board of Education goes into closed session pursuant to Section 8B of the Open Meetings Act that being for board discussion connected to the discipline of a student. I need a motion for that.
So moved.
Support.
Any comments or questions? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, that motion carries. So at this time, we'll go into closed session. When we return, we'll just be adjourning. But again, I want to thank everybody for being here this evening, and for those of you who did speak, in front of the board. I know it's not an easy thing, and we appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you very much.